calling from T4 Straight to inform you the driver has arrived for delivery to the Fresno, California address on file, but he said that no one's there.
Let me call Ryan really quick. He should be able to help you unload right now. Just give me a second.
Sounds good.
The engine delivery was scheduled for 8 to 10 a.m. that morning, but I got the call at 7 a.m. that the driver was already there. So I rushed to Ryan's house as quickly as I could and got there just before he got back with the engine. The semi-truck couldn't pull into the driveway, so they went to a town close by that they could use to transfer the engine from the freight truck to Ryan's truck. Super glad Ryan could get that handled and that it all went smoothly, since it kind of took both of us by surprise this morning. But I couldn't believe my eyes that this freaking massive McLaren engine I just ordered on eBay was now right in front of me waiting to be unboxed. First time ever taking delivery of an engine, man. Whew. Wow, good way to start the morning, I guess. Well, here it is, the $21,000 eBay engine pulled from a crashed McLaren in Colorado that I couldn't confirm actually runs before I bought it. What an absolutely insane moment this is, not just because it's really cool just in general taking delivery of a McLaren engine, but actually insane because I just emptied my bank account for this engine and now I'm hoping and praying it runs well in the super sketchy McLaren that now we're way over budget on. But while this whole situation absolutely sucks, let's make the best of it and just see what we have in the box. No risk, no Rari, right?
This thing weighs how much?
500-ish.
The guy said the BOL said 640. I think those cables will hold 640, right? I'm not worried about the bed, I'm worried about the
yeah,
motor.
Wouldn't want to have to replace these cables on your truck, man.
That would put us over budget for sure. All right.
Perfect.
All right, down.
Did I get you?
Yeah, you got me.
Ready to see the investment. Let's see what we got under here. Wow. Did they send us the wrong engine? Is this the wrong one?
Oh, might be.
Hopefully we don't find anything sketchy. If we do, that'll be a really bad day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys ready to see this thing? McLaren 650S Spider, 2015, 3.0, twin turbo, V8, automatic transmission, color orange, 9,000 miles. Let's go. Here sits a 9,000 mile, 3.8 liter twin turbocharged McLaren V8. That is the exact same engine my car came with from factory. So given that it actually runs as the eBay seller claims, it should be a direct swap in and out. And at first glance, it does really look nice. Nothing broken that we can see and really clean. And it was packaged really well too. We could tell it definitely was removed from the donor car and shipped professionally. And while we were both really excited about the engine, it was time to get to work actually installing this thing since Ryan is on paid time here. First order of business is removing the old dirty transmission from the old engine so we can pair the old transmission with the new engine. This was a really cool learning experience for me since I have never separated a transmission from an engine before, so I got to see exactly how it all works for the first time with my own eyeballs.
Literally all we have to do is pick this up, separate it. Probably ought to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. There it is.
That's it right there.
So here is the old transmission separated from the old engine. I consider myself very fortunate that I got to drive out of the last engine before it blew up, because now I'm confident the transmission still works well and doesn't need to be replaced just yet. So hopefully it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit and it should be able to be slopped right in. For science, let's see what's under here. This is the old motor, driveline dampener.
Yep, that rear main's leaking, look.
Oh, man.
Not a lot, but enough to cause all this.
Yeah, grime. Let's take a second out real quick to thank today's video sponsor, Wolfbox. Mega Flow 100 air duster. This is a cordless air duster, so let's take a look. So this is the Wolfbox Mega Flow 100. It's powered by a 6,000 milliamp battery and blows up to 150,000 RPM with 3 different power settings. It has USB-C fast charging and comes with various attachments and everything else you need to get started. All right, let's get this thing out of the box, see how it looks. No way. Super easy operation on this guy. You just hold that down to power it on. Removable and swappable attachments. And you have your high power fan back there. I'm gonna use this a lot for detailing cars. There's a lot of hard to reach places I just can't get to with just normal cleaning methods. And this makes it super easy to do. So to change the attachment, all you do is click it out and then you put the new one in and click the new one in and there you go. You can almost use this as a leaf blower. Check this out. Incredible power. I never knew I needed one of these until now. How about that? Obviously, you can use it for a ton of different things. Cleaning your cars or house, blowing up air mattresses, drying things off. And the best part about it is it's portable and you can just throw it in a bag and go. Thank you, Wolfbox, for sponsoring today's video. If you guys want to check out that air duster, there's a link below. Let's get back to work. The next day, the new $3,000 Driveline Damper Kit arrived. So this means we're ready to upgrade the new motor before installing it into the car. There were a lot of other suggested upgrades to do to the engine while it was out, like upgrading the cam phasers and timing chain, whatever. But for my budget, suggested means optional. So the DLD, the driveline damper, was one thing I splurged on that was a common failure point that I could easily put on a credit card and worry about later, that I thought actually could be a problem in the near future if I don't do it now. So here's a clear shot of the old style DLD. You can see the springs are exposed on this version, and those springs are known to break and send debris flying straight into your starter gear, which sometimes will cause a no crank kind of situation with your engine. The new style is enclosed, and it is actually a touch heavier than the stock DLD to make the power transfer to the transmission a bit smoother. Today's the day, boys. We are getting this engine prepped, at least today, for installation in the next couple days. You know, tomorrow we'll probably start actually putting it into the car. Just got the parts that we really need. I wanted to replace this sump because we have no idea the actual condition of the one that's in the car currently, and that is what we were having problems with, you know, getting plugged up with sludge. So better to replace it now than later. Ignition coils that I had previously bought, and we just got the brand new OEM stock gapped spark plugs, and obviously we have the new DLD with the seals. Currently we need to just mate the transmission, and so obviously a DLD replacement first, put the transmission on there. So what do you say, Ryan? Let's get started?
Yeah, let's get after it.
With the night coming to a close, we're just gonna do a once over on this engine before we actually finish mating up the transmission tomorrow, hopefully. So we're gonna just pull out the plugs, scope the cylinders, make sure everything's good in there, and then replace the plugs with new ones, replace the coil packs with new ones. And let's see, and I'm hoping too to just pop a drain plug or something and see what the oil originally from this engine looked like. And if everything checks out tonight, obviously we'll just throw the whole thing back together. We'll feel, you know, perfectly confident that we can slap this thing in and get it running. First order of business for this quick inspection, of course, was to scope the cylinders as a simple way to verify this engine is in smooth running condition, or was at least. There were a couple strange things we found, but every cylinder had it, so we decided it must be normal from factory. I'll be putting this full clip on my second channel, the Inja 2.0, if you want to see the full diagnostic with the oil sample report and the engine bin check from the donor car, that kind of thing. Go ahead and check it out there.
It doesn't look like it was dug in there like the other one did. This looks like it might be a manufacturing mark.
I mean, that looks very similar to how mine looked though.
Does look similar. And then it's got a bunch of black carbon on there. See, this pattern looks nice though. Your pattern didn't look like this.
This is the photo of my cylinder wall. It definitely is like horizontal scratches. It's not cross. Look at you with your fancy tools.
Oh, here, you want this?
I got it now, thanks. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look as oily in here than mine did. That's a good sign, I guess. fully operational condition, they said, and the shaft play is saying otherwise.
No.
Just kidding.
Oh.
Do you still have mine? I'm curious to look.
No, I sold them for scrap metal.
There definitely is oil in there. Definitely is used. But everything checked out fine, so we put the new OEM spark plugs in and torqued them down. The ignition coils that came on the donor car engine were actually manufactured around the same time as my new ones, but they were made in Germany, so we installed those ones back on instead of my slightly newer ones that were manufactured in China. I feel like they'll just last a lot longer. The next morning, Steph and I packaged and sent all the orders you guys made through the website since the last video, and words truly can't express how much this meant to me, so thank you guys. It definitely doesn't cover much of the engine, but it really did mean a lot, and it really did help out. So, theinja.com if you guys do want to continue supporting the project. Kat, the freak are you doing? It's just so low to the ground, it's hard to get an angle on the steering wheel. So back to Ryan's house I went, and my main goal today was to help get everything onto the new engine to get it ready to install. I started by replacing the oil pressure sensor. The one that came on the engine was probably fine, but hey, I had a brand new one that I just bought, so we might as well replace it now. Next, I focused on replacing this oil sump since the old one ran a bunch of sludge through it, and we want to make 100% sure none of those oil pressure problems carry over to the new engine. So I'm doing this just to be 100% sure. Normally when you change your oil on your car, you have to like Google search where the drain plug is, and the only relation you have to changing your oil is knowing where that one bolt is. But it's like, I know exactly what the entire unit looks like. Like, I will never question again what bolt it is to pull out to change the oil. It's like, I'm gonna know exactly where this freaking oil is coming out of. Next up, Ryan installed a new driveline damper along with the new style DLD bolts. The old ones are actually slightly different. And just check out how much nicer the new style DLD looks. Next, he replaced the rear main and various other transmission seals the kit came with, and then we both got to work mating up the old transmission to the new engine. And sorry in advance for not doing a step-by-step kind of thing for the engine replacement, like I've kind of been doing this whole series so far. Keep in mind that this is a paid project for Ryan, and he's doing a lot of work off camera when I'm not there, so I couldn't really show you guys everything even if I wanted to. I'm just incredibly grateful that I get to film this at all, and that it's getting done so quickly. If I sent it anywhere else, I wouldn't be able to film, and it probably would have taken months to get this done. The new engine paired with the now clean transmission looked so good, and I couldn't believe that it was ready for final installation into the car. The hope here is after this is all done, the car is finally a good running and reliable car that I don't cringe at every time it fires up.
These days they come and go. Nothing to lose. I feel it in my soul. So let's let the good times roll. So let's let the good times roll. So let's let the good times roll.
All right, well, this is a huge moment, guys, and I know you know how important this is, but this engine is now made into the transmission, and we're gonna be throwing it back in the car. It's ready. The nerves are definitely high as this comes closer to being into the car. Ryan obviously is the man putting this in. I got to run, and he said he just wants to knock it all the way out tonight, so tomorrow we can just come over here and push the button, drive
Start
down
it up.
the road.
Yeah.
As far as game plan goes, what do you think is the next thing, and what are you thinking from here?
From this point out, I've kind of spent the last, good bit getting the mental map of everything, and not just a map, but an actual real understanding. So taking it apart, you see this and that, but putting it back together, you really have to know what's what. Anybody can take anything apart, right? It's putting it back together that's the hard part. So you have to understand this goes to there, that goes to there, it works together, and then we're all these different things, how they function and how they work in order to be able to put it back together. So I just spent the last bit figuring that out, but now that I kind of have a good map of how everything works and systems and everything, it was very difficult in the beginning of this when I was looking at it. And I was like, yeah, pretty straightforward. No, I was wrong on that one, but
Yeah, it's not like a BMW, that's for sure.
oh, damn it! Actually, this is much more simpler than S63. You guys that have ever worked on S63, you know what I'm talking about. This is much simpler than that. But it's the fact that you have no room, much like an M6 or a X6M. You have no room for anything. So McLaren was real methodical, I guess you could say, when they made this. So this has to go in, that has to go in at that time, that has to go in at that time. And if I find out at the wrong time that I put this line in the wrong place, well, motor's got to come back out. So
yeah,
I got to make sure that that does not happen because I don't want to take it out again. So yeah, I'm just going to work until it's done. I'm just not going to stop, period. And then in the morning.
3 days later.
I really hope that's not the case.
I'll probably be back later tonight, all right? I'll probably be back later.
It's crazy to think I've only ever worked on a lawnmower before this.
That's news. I always thought you looked a little confused.
Yeah, I just was like, huh, where's the carburetor at? Don't know.
All right, well, good luck, my man. Thank you. I can't wait to, this is, obviously it was a tough time just having to do all of this, but I'm really hoping it pays off, real soon.
My bank account's hoping so too.
So here's the $21,000 eBay engine, fully assembled and being installed tonight, and hopefully running by the weekend. As awesome as this is, how close it is to installation and first start, I'm very stressed right now knowing that it's an untested engine bought sight unseen from eBay for a very reasonable price. I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys, but this is a huge moment for the project. Either it fires up or this project gets put on a permanent hold.